my Facebook and on my YouTube channel today. So I'm Sheila with Sweetie's Creations and Decor, and I'm so sorry we have been having these problems all week, last week, and a few little problems today, but here we are, we're back. So come on in and jump on, say hello, hi there, all the good things, and hope to meet some new friends today. So we are also streaming in Paint Pixie, and I was not getting the Paint Pixie to even come up over there. There we are. Now we've got us. So here we are. All right. Welcome, welcome. So sorry. Sometimes you have those issues and not a whole lot you can do about it, right? Hey, Joni, good to see you today. So I'm going to tell you what we're doing, and hang with me as we have to struggle and we just do the best we can. So here's a wood board that I'm using. This is just I don't remember, it seems like there was something else on here, and it's just an inexpensive little wood board I have. It looks like they had something up here. I'm going to be covering that up. So I've gone ahead and painted my board. I think that you can see on both places. I'm going to make sure. And I just used cream puff. Cream puff is my go-to that I use under a lot of decoupage. And we are going to do a little decoupage today, but hopefully I can show you something that maybe you haven't seen before. So that's what we use. It's a cream color, kind of in between white and a cream. And here is the marshmallow, which is a true white. So I'm going to show you the difference in the color so you can see that. So we'll put that up there out of the way. I went ahead and gave that a good paint, let it dry. Good morning, good morning. Good to see everybody. All right, and welcome to our Paint Pixie page. Some of you jump over there and give her some algorithm. We appreciate that too. If you're on YouTube, be sure and tell me hello today. Good to see you. So we're going to do a little bit to our background. This is a beautiful print we're going to use. This is called God Bless America by Reba Rose Creations. If you haven't ever seen Reba's prints, she's got some gorgeous, gorgeous prints. I'll show you one I did yesterday. We're going to use this. Hey, Vintage Retail Therapy by Mara. How are you, my friend? Hey, Amanda. Y'all come on in. So we're going to do that. And the background has a little bit, you just notice it's distressed. You can do distressing with paint. So I just use some colors of gray. So I'm going to use a little bit of the Oreo Cookie, which is a light gray. I'm going to use a little bit of it. We're just going to tap it out, y'all. You want to tap it out a little bit. And yes, I am very Southern. Welcome on in today. So I'm just going to go, you're just using a dry, this is just an inexpensive brush. Don't ruin your good brushes. Use some brushes that have gotten older and do your dry brush. We're just kind of going across a little bit here and there. I apologize if you were on and had to come back. Mr. Book of Faces was having some issues today, and you know what? We're just going to go with it. We're not going to let it study or bother us. So just a little bit, y'all. Mostly on the sides. You're not going to see underneath our print. We don't want to have too much paint under there. So I'm just taking a little bit of that light and just dragging it on. It's just making a little bit of a distressed look, just like that. So welcome on in if you're joining me on on Josie's page. We're using Reba's print and Josie's paint today. And if you haven't seen this Paint Pixie paint, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it as well. This paint is an acrylic and a chalk paint mixed together. That's why you have such good coats, good covering. And it also, the pigments in it are made from the earth. So I don't have any problem using this paint as far as allergies. It does go on really well. I do love it. Okay, now we're going to use a little bit of our Foggy Martini, which is a little bit like a medium gray. All these are named after drinks or food or desserts. So you will get a kick out of the names of the paint. So this is Foggy Martini. I love how Josie came up with these names, and they're so fun. The other one was called Oreo Cookie Dough. This is Foggy Martini. I'm going to take a little bit of it. We're just taking our dry brush, and I've got another brush too. that I might use. And you're just going to go a little bit over that. So we're just doing a little bit here and there. It doesn't have to be all over, just to give a little bit more interest to your background. So this isn't something you have to do, just if you want to do something a little different. Now let's take just a little bit of our other gray. Let me find it. I hope I didn't put it up. Here it is. Mud pie. So this is like the dessert mud pie. Aren't they fun? Hey, Stacy, and hey, Sandy. Good to see you today. Welcome on in. Hello. Hey, Carolyn. I hope you're doing well today. Good to see you. Hey, Patricia. Thank you for jumping on. Words are hard. It's Monday. Jumping on a Paint Pixie's page. If y'all do not know Josie, she is the sweetest. She's just a very, very sweet lady. You also, I saw that Mara from Vintage Retail Therapy was on here. We're going to be using a stencil today that she made. All of her stencils she makes are on her page. We're going to be using this one today, and you can get it on Paint Pixie right now. She is carrying some of Mara's stencils. All right. A little bit of that mud pie. I hadn't used it a little while. I had to shake it up a little bit. Let's take this brush here, which is, this was also a Paint Pixie brush, but I've kind of gotten it dry. Probably did not wash it out as well as I should, so I now use it for a dry brush, which is a great little dry brush. It's a Joy brush called Joy. Now, Josie has brushes on sale. Unfortunately, she's not going to be able to carry brushes. You better get them now before they're gone. These are some of the best brushes. They've got like Italian hair. They're from Italy. They got Italian hair in them, and they just go on so well. So I'm just dry brushing that up just a little bit. We're not going to worry too much on. So that I'm just doing a light coat, y'all. Just a little light coat. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to dry that up. I think that's all we'll need today. We're going to be putting some stencils on. Hey, Lisa, you love Josie too, don't you, Mara? Mara and Josie are friends. And so Josie has been carrying a couple of Mara's several of her stencils. And so this stencil I actually got from Josie, but I also get them from Mara because Mara is another one of my affiliates. So I am glad to see her here today. If you have not checked out Mara's page, she has some beautiful, beautiful things on her page. She has the pen tart, she has stencils, she has transfers, she has the IOD molds. And as soon as that bookish comes back in, I'm excited to get that. I hope I've got some new papers to try on that from Reba. Reba's making some, they're kind of for candles, but you also could use them on those books. So I'm excited to do that. So eventually that'll come back in and we'll be ready for it. So here's the print we're using, and this is called God Bless America. Isn't that beautiful? This is one of the other companies that Reba carries on her page. So she's got a couple of other artists on there with her. Reba does design her prints, and she is a very good artist. So we're going to use the Forcefield, which is going to be our decoupage medium today. And this is also from Paint Pixie. It is a water base. The Forcefield does not yellow. So if you're going to do something that you're wanting to put a cover on, you don't want it to yellow, or you're going to put it outside, you can use it outside, but I would say I would not put it anywhere that's directly with water in contact with it. If you put it out there, I do use it on my outside things, but I do have a covered patio. Nothing is going to be waterproof. I don't care. You can use 100 coats of different things, and nothing is really 100% waterproof. Okay. So let me make sure I've got plenty of that. I'm going a little bit over, which is fine because this is a matte. It's going to dry clear. Okay. Give that a quick little dry and give it an iron. You're welcome. It's true, Mara. You're talented too, my friend. I learn a lot from you. I give mine a little dry because sometimes if you have too much liquid, it's going to come through your print and put watermarks. So that's why I like to do mine and iron it. I'm going to leave a little space there at the top because we are going to be using a piece of Pixie Doh today. So let me leave enough room for it to go here on the top. The Pixie Doh is something else that is going to be discontinued, and the molds. So I'll show you a couple of the molds, and go ahead and get you some Pixie Dough, and I'll show you. It is like marshmallow cream. So if you're new to doing molds and you haven't done them before, I would suggest you get some of the Pixie Dough. It's easy to work with, and it's something that's great for, especially for people that are just starting out. That's what I started with, was the Pixie Dough, just to get a feel of it, and it really is a cool little product. So you will love it. Hold on, y'all. I'm still trying to get a little straight there. Okay, I think we're good. Let's grab our parchment paper. Never use wax paper. Never use saran wrap, anything like that on your prints. You're going to pull them off. They're not going to stick. You want parchment paper. And I'm going to start in the middle on my ironing and go down and move out. That's the way I was taught to do it. Move out, and that's going to help. So always use you a piece of parchment paper so that you're not pulling that back up. And I like the iron method. It helps with wrinkles. It also gives it a good adhesion. It's reactivating your glue as you're working with it. So underneath, it's reactivating that glue and bringing it back to a liquid state, but not to where it's going to mess up your print. So I love the iron method. You can get these little irons on Amazon. I do have an Amazon shop, and I do have, they discontinued this particular model, but they've got a new model that's better. But I'll use mine till it quits working. So there we go. Got that print on there. And you could just stop there and do nothing else. But we want to embellish it. We want to make it a little nicer. So let's take it. Let's put a little bit of our, and this one is, this is, oh gosh, my name just went away from me. Harmony. I knew I'd remember it. This is Harmony, and this is Amazing Grace in French. So here's some musical notes. Here's the wording. Let me show you what I did yesterday so you can see that print on how pretty that is in the background. Now, I'm going to tell you, Miss Mara is better at this than I am, but I did do 2 colors of blue, Miss Mara. I did do it. And what you do is you put your first color on and you move your stencil just a little bit, and then you can blend it and put 2 colors. So we'll try that. We'll maybe try that again today. And it worked pretty well, so I did love that. So that print is called Wings of Freedom. It's number 1830, Wings of Freedom, and I did that one yesterday. So both of these are Reba Rose Creations. So we're going to put a little bit of our French wording on here, and maybe a few of the musical notes. So I'm just going to put them in various places. It doesn't have to be uniform or a specific place. So I'm going to put this one right here. Let's see if I got the right side. I do. And these are made by Vintage Retail Therapy by Mira. She makes these. They're not thinned to where they'll bend all over when you put them up and store them. They have a good texture. I do love the texture on these. So I'm going to do that there. I'm going to grab, and I think I can use my big brush. Sometimes those are better if I do a little smaller brush. I'm going to do the little smaller one on these, and I'll use the bigger one on the other. I think the big one might be okay on here. This is the big brush that Paint Pixie has for stenciling. We're just using our Paint Pixie paint today, and I'm going to use a little bit of the other blue. Get it out. I think it's this one. Yes. Could use either color, really. I think this one looks better. All right, I'm going to pull a little bit of this paint, and this is the French Macaroon. And yes, you can shake your paint. I know some paints say not to shake them, but you definitely can. Oh, you need your hearts today, right? Let's see if it's working. It started to say it was working. Let's see. Well, we'll try it again. We'll try it again. It was on there when I did my hands somehow, but we'll try it again. Thank you for the hearts. Is it Jackie or JC? Hey, JC. Hey, Luann. How are you today? Good to see you, friend. Welcome on into my YouTube channel. So I'm going to start doing more with streaming in both for YouTube. I know some of the videos are a little bit longer, but you know, watch what you can. That certainly helps. And make me a comment. Give me a heart over here on YouTube. Then you got a little place right there and give me a heart, and I appreciate the comments so much. So we're going to dip our brush in this. This is French Macaroon. This is one of the very popular colors right now in decorating and all that. French Macaroon. This blue is one of the top blues, along with this one here, which is Sugared Glass. Both of these, that one has a little bit more gray. These are very popular in your blue colors right now. I did put a discount code there that you can use, and I'll put it on YouTube if you buy regular priced items. So when the paint's not on sale, you can get 15% off the paint by using my code Sheila, S-H-E-L-I-A, 15 off. Okay? So I'm not going to go all the way down on this. I'm just going to put a little bit right here and a little bit right in here. I'm going over on our print a little bit, and that's okay too. Now, you can put gold, silver, whatever color you want. I'm going to put a little bit of the other, did I do? I did a little bit of the darker blue. Okay, I did a little bit, had to see which one I used. A little bit of the Blueberry Cobbler. Now remember that you want to offload your stencil brush. So I kind of like to teach as I'm going. A lot of people like that. They like to know what to do. Maybe they've never stenciled or they've never tried doing something like this before, and it gives them a tip on what you can do. Hey, Mary T, how are you? Okay, y'all. Now, what Mara says to do is just pull just a little bit, line it, make sure it's still lined up, and pull it a little bit right, left, up, and down, whichever one you want. And then put your other color. Now mine might not look as good as hers, but I'll try. So I'm going to use this other brush. I am tapping off. You don't want a lot in your brush at all. If it's not enough, you can always go back and put more, okay? Let me line it back up again. I was talking. I want to make sure I didn't move it. Imagine that. All right, y'all got to get it right back. Hold on. Right back to where I had it. There we go. And I'm just going to move it just a little bit. You can swirl it, you can tap it, whatever's good for you. And this is just going to try, hopefully it's going to come out with two colors. We are hoping that I've done it as good. Lift it straight up. Okay, mine's not perfect, but it looks pretty good. You can see a little bit of that dark color in there. Not perfect, but that's okay. That's okay. Let's put a few more musical notes maybe over on this side. And I might put a little bit of that French wording. So I'm just put just a few right in here. Just for something a little different. I'm going to take my other color back. Tap that off again. I may still have a little bit in my brush. And we're just going to put a little bit on these sides here. You do not want a lot of paint when you're stenciling. You can always add, but if you put too much, it's going to bleed. So you always want to be careful of that. Okay. That did well. Now I'm going to move it just a little bit, like we did on the other. And then I'm going to take my other brush, the darker blue, which is BlackBerry Cobbler, which is kind of a navy. I'm just going to go back. Now I don't want as much of this, so I'm okay if I miss some spots. and you want to lift your stencil off. That's just giving it a whole different look, right? And that's kind of what we're doing today, just doing some different things to show you you can still use this paint to do your stenciling. Don't think you do not have to use stencil paint, special paint. You can use regular paint. You just want to make sure it's something that's going to do well on your print. Okay, now we might put a little wording. And you see that here it says Land That I Love and the God Bless is in black. So I think we'll do a little bit of this printing in the darker, instead of black, I'm going to use Starry Night, which is a very dark navy blue, because I think it will look good with it. We'll use a little bit of it on some of the musical notes. So let's put a little bit of that out. I'm just going to keep this brush that I've got this blue in. We're just going to put a little bit of the song lyrics right in some places. I think I'll put just a little bit right in here. You just kind of pick and choose where you want to put something. No rhyme or reason, really. So now I'm going to dip it in that darker Starry Night. It's a darker. It is a navy as well, but it's a little bit darker than the other. Take a little bit of that out, and I think that'll blend with our other blues. And I may have gotten too much, but I did take some off. We'll see how it looks. And you know, it's just paint, y'all. If it doesn't come out like you want, don't fret the small stuff. Paint over it, try again. That's not bad. That's not bad. I like it. Just a little bit right in there. Okay, let's put a little bit at the top. Maybe over this way just a little bit down. And I'm going to take the other side. This is a different wording. So let me move my print a little bit. And I'm going to do this on this side. I'm going to use what paint's in here and see how that does, and I may have to put a little bit more. So I'll put a little bit of the wording in here. A little bit of paint still in my brush. And I may have enough where I don't have to put any more. And I'm okay if it comes out a little bit light. Don't worry about it being dark. You're just giving it a little bit of something here. Okay, I think that'll work. So you can use parts of your stencil, and you can use more than one stencil on your projects. Okay, so you can get that stencil from Paint Pixie today. I'm liking it. I'm liking it so far. I might put a little bit more gray right in here for the background, just to blend that a little bit. Right now, I'm kind of liking that. It's going to be not a lot today, but pretty simple. If you like the stenciling, give me a heart. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Julie girl. Hey, Angelica. Good to see you today. Good morning. Yes. Thank you for those hearts. Y'all are so sweet. So we are also joining our Facebook friends today. I did get some red out in case we use that. So I do like that. I'm liking that so far. Just a little bit of something on there. We're going to put that to the side, let that dry. And this is just a piece that I used Pixie Dough. A little mold, and I think I just used part of it, but I'm going to show you what the Pixie Dough looks like, because a lot of you have never seen it. Josie has this on sale right now, y'all. Very, very inexpensive. It is light and fluffy like a marshmallow. You can cast your molds, you can sculpt with it. It's great sculpting clay. You can make little eggs, little pumpkins, all kinds of things I've done with this. And y'all, it's like marshmallow cream. It really is. So it's like this. But I'm going to show you how easy you can make something quick with it. And she is clearancing this out, so get you several bags. It's a great starter if you don't know a lot about molds or have never used them. So I've got a couple here that she still has, these molds. I know these are in there. I looked last night. So this is one that's a huge rose. This is gorgeous. Just to take you a little block and use this as your middle piece. Just something simple. So here's the other one, and that is one of these size. You can make this size You can make little bitty ones. And then you also can just use the middle of them and make really little small ones, okay? So let's use just a little bit of cornstarch. I want to show you these because a lot of people ask me about the molds. And it's flexible. It's flexible. So it's a good little, if you've never used it, great way to start so that you can learn how to use molds. And you just want a little bit of cornstarch. And then I put them in the freezer. But today I'm going to show you how you can do some quick and you don't have to worry about the freezer. Isn't that a cool mold? And I'm going to tell y'all, when you take this out, it is thick. But if you'll just pull your edges, it's flexible, it pops right out. And I did this one last night on the rose. So here you have your dough. You're just going to take just a little pinch and see how you can, and it's stringy, but it'll work. And then you could make, if you wanted some little bird eggs, there's your little bird egg. So I take mine, I flatten it just a little bit. And then if you have the cornstarch in here, you're just gonna barely press. And usually it sticks to your finger. And look, you got a little heart, little rose, excuse me, a little rose. So you just need very little bit. If you're gonna cast and do the whole thing, I usually put it in the freezer, but you can do it and pull it out. You just have to be careful with it. And let's do one over here. And these are just the middle of the roses, just the middle. And those will dry up in no time. These are bigger ones. You see they're still flexible even after you do them. This was one of the big ones here. This one was probably this size here. So if you want a little bit more, you just take a little pinch, a little bit more, and then flatten it, and you can make a little bit bigger. And I just kind of use my finger and pull it back off. Don't press it too hard, and then just be very gentle as you pull it back out. And you can kind of reshape it a little bit. Let's do that one over. I kind of got that one. I pressed it a little too hard. You just want to barely press it, just like that. There you go. So if you do press it too hard, just stick it in the freezer for about 15-20 minutes and it's done. Have y'all ever used this before? You leave it in the freezer, Luann, for 15 to 20 minutes. I usually leave mine at least 20, sometimes 30. It's not going to hurt it. I've even forgotten them and left them overnight and they still pop right out. So once you have it in there and you're starting to take it out, somebody asked me this, y'all. I'm sorry if this is boring, if you've never done molds or you have done them, but somebody asked about it. So I always try to help when somebody asks a question. You're gonna press it down on your edges. Now these you may have to turn over. Some products say not to turn it over. This one's okay, but you're just going to pull your edges because it's frozen. It's gonna break that edge off and then they're gonna pop right out. Easy peasy. I did these yesterday and they're already dry. They dry overnight, but just a quick little, same thing on any of these. I don't even have cornstarch in this one and it'll work. If you want it thinner than that, then just take your dough, flatten it out more, and then just press it in there. Barely touch it, barely press it, and it's gonna put it right in there for you. So grab you some of these molds while they're on sale. These are nice thick molds, but all you're gonna do is just pull it. That's all you're doing. Easy on those. And this is another mold that I had, and this is Pixie Doh as well. Let's paint it up. So let's paint it. You know what, y'all? I'm thinking maybe we'll do, I am gonna put a little star on here. I do have a little star. Now this was just one of those, I don't know if I've got the stars, but I do have hearts. You can find these at Hobby Lobby or sometimes at the dollar store, and they're deeper because they're made for candies. You can make your little stars and hearts. You just barely put a little bit in there, and you can put it in the freezer too. Don't fill it all the way to the top unless you want them big, but if you want them slender, just press just in the bottom, and they're gonna pop right out. And that's something you can do also. Easy creating. So the little star is gonna go on here, and I think we'll paint the star up in white. We could do this in blue or red. What do y'all think about the red? I'm thinking since we don't have any red on here, let's put a little red. Y'all like that? This is candy apple red. I love this red color. Okay, sweetie, good to see you today. Glad you're back safe and sound. All right, candy apple. So, we're going to put a little bit of that out. Now, I'm going to tell you something you can do with this color. This is a brighter red. But if you want the country red, you're going to take a little bit of your chocolate souffle, which is the brown. You're going to mix just a tad in there, and you're going to make it more of your vintage red. So this is a little bit more vintage. So I'm going to take just a little bit of that brown, just a tad. Just a tad. Okay, just a tad out. I'm just going to mix it and get me a country red. Let me get a little stick, just a little red in there with my red, a little brown, tad more. Just touch it. Just get you just a little bit. Now you see where I have a country red instead of a bright red. Okay? Totally up to what color you want to use. Let's put this brush up. This goes with our other stuff. All right, let's grab a brush here. I'm just going to grab me a Paint Pixie. This is one of the brushes here. This is the star brush. I love that little flat. She also has the ones with a little bitty hair. I love those for trimming out, or you need to outline something. We're just going to paint this up in the red. Look how different the color is. See? More of a country red. All right. I'm just going to get that painted up. So I hope that this is helping you today on knowing some of the products and knowing how to use things. Anytime that you have a question, ask. If I don't see it, I'll come back. I'm glad I'm seeing comments today too. Hey, Linda. Hey, Lisa. We do love to say hello to everybody. Good. Yeah, try it out because it's good priced right now. I think it's like 75% off or something. Something to try, Luann, if you haven't done molds or haven't done, grab you a couple of molds. Put you some cornstarch in there. Cornstarch is always good. It helps it come out. But I've even done it and forgotten my cornstarch, and they've still popped right out once I put them in the freezer. The freezer is going to give it a little bit hard on the edges for just a little while, and that's going to help you pull it out a little easier. But if you have a question, y'all make sure that you send me a note. I'll be glad to answer for you. Okay? I'm always willing to try to help y'all. I am a person that creates, and I love to teach. I've taught lots of painting classes at our senior center, and I tell you, they just love to learn too. People still love to learn, and I love to teach because people taught me when I first started in the business, and I already had, you know, experience, but learning from so many creators, and I'm still learning, y'all. You're never too old to learn. And I tell you, it keeps your brain working. So if you're thinking about starting a page, there is room at the table for everybody. Don't let somebody tell you, oh, there's so many creators out there. You do it if you like it. You get on YouTube if you like it. Yes, do you. Absolutely great for your brain as you get older. To create, keep your mind busy, keep doing things. Sitting and doing nothing is the reason that you lose a lot of your brain power. You always want to be busy. Okay, I'll get right in there. And this is pretty easy to paint too. Let me put just a little bit of water. I'm about to run out and don't want to have to get too much more paint. So let's try to use what we've got there. This is pretty. I like this. And then I may have to go back and touch up the edges just a little bit. But it's just going to paint so easy. Not hard at all to paint this up. So I'll let that dry a minute before we get our heat tool. And go ahead and do our star. We're just going to paint it a little bit. I'm just going to use a little bit of that cream puff instead of white. I think I'll use cream puff. Let me grab another brush. I use about a dozen brushes when I'm... So this is also I think this is the same brush. There's also these kind are called artist brushes. And y'all, my brushes all look like this because I do use them. This is one of the artist brush. You can use those as well. They do well. Let's grab a little bit of that cream puff. I ran out, so let me get a little bit more out. This one's almost empty. So I'm just going to see if I can pour me just a little bit here on my palette. There we go. That should be enough. So let me see if anybody... You have a blessed day as well. Thank you for joining me. So give me some hearts, some thumbs up if you're on YouTube with me. Subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that. I do a lot of crafting. I also do quick crafts and crafts with less expensive items. Just do a lot of things. And I use the Paint Pixie paint. Most all the time is the paint that I go to, just because I love the way that it works and the way that it goes on and the way that it dries. It's a good paint. It's very good coverage. I've used some inexpensive paint, y'all, that the coverage is terrible and you got to put 2 coats. Well, that doesn't save you any money. If you can get you a good paint, then you're only using 1 coat most of the time. You do sometimes on a darker. If you have this piece of wood did take 2 coats, and what I did first, instead of wasting my paint, is I used the primer. So if you do bottles, jars, cans, any of those kind of things, grab you some primer. This is really, really good primer, and I use it on the bottom of my bottles and jars and everything. Oh, I accidentally touched that, and I got some little bit of red right there on the edge of my wrong brush. Let me get just a tad of that. I touched it with my finger, still had a little bit. And get a wipe and get that off. Got a little bit of red on there. Still was wet on my hand. I'm gonna get these good and dry. We're gonna put these on now. These are so light that you can put them on with just the quick and thick. Don't use hot glue. Hot glue is going to make it stick up a little bit. You want something that's going to lay flat and something you press down. And this dries pretty quick as well. So I do use good glue. You can use 3-in-1. You can use the Fabri-Tac, anything like that you like. Do what you like. Okay, let's turn this over. We don't want any paint on our print. I'm going to use these. We're going to go ahead and put our star on there. I like that. I like the star on there. Okay, I'm going to use just a little bit of the Titebond. And see where I pulled this one out of the mold, and it was a thick mold. I just pulled it out. I've got a little much on there, so what we'll do is take a little off and put it on our other piece if we need to. You're just putting just a little bit on the edges there. And that's going to go right in the middle. You could put a rusty star or something if you wanted to. You could paint this one up rusty. Anything that you want to do. All right, we'll use a little bit of that glue that's left and put a little bit more. And I think this was just part of a mold right here. You also want to clean off your glue after you use it, because it does stick to the top if you don't. I've got to find my top now. Look, I left it under here somewhere. I must leave that. Now, if you'll keep this laying on the side, it does a lot better. A lot of people say upside down. But the upside down, it kind of really flows. So there's the top. I knew I had it. So I leave mine on the side, and it works well. And then you're just going to put a little bit of glue on here. You don't need a ton. Kind of spread it out with your finger. All right, let's see if we can get that. Get a little bit off. Let's see if we can kind of cover this up here. See if we've got that kind of in the middle there. I just kind of eye it. I do see a couple places I will touch up on that red. Just be careful with it. And then you're just going to press down on it until you get a little bit of a stick. Hey, Janice, good to see you today. Angelina, did I say hello to you? Hello. I think I did. If I didn't, hello again. Good to see you today. All right, y'all. Kind of get that. Look how pretty that looks on there. Now, I'll probably put a little bit of wax. So I'm liking that so far. I do have some jewels to show you. These are also from Paint Pixie. Y'all seen me show some of them. Josie is carrying these right now, and right now she's got a deal. So check that out. She's got a deal on the jewels. You can use my discount code on any regular priced items. Here's one of the red ones. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that. Here's one of the other stones, also a little square. I love that. I think I'm going to put that right there in the middle of that bow to give it just a little something, something. And I'm just going to use a little bit of the B7000 on that. These are lighter weight than some of the other jewels. And she's got packs. And then she's got, right now, buy one, get one free. You can't get an extra discount on that. They're already discounted. That is a good deal to get your jewels. And these are less expensive than some of the other jewels and a good deal. They are nice too, jewels. Okay, y'all, I'll just do that in a minute. Okay, and I'll put that right there in the middle. I love that. So here's some other ones. She's got crosses. This little blue was in one of the packs. This little umbrella's in one of the packs. This little silver jewel here. A butterfly. All these. I'm going to take one of these crosses. And I'm going to take the little, it's got a little, I'll take the little edge off. What did I decide I was going to put this? Somewhere up there, I think. Just going to take that little ring off. Just be careful. Get it away from your eyes. And they will jump everywhere. So I'm trying to put that in the garbage. So I'm going to take this little bitty cross here and I'm going to put that on as well. I'm going to use that same glue. And I'm going to put that on. I love that. There's all kinds of patriotic prints on Reba's site. I will put my code in after I get off. You can also go to my link tree, the little link on the bottom if you're on Facebook. I will put the link on YouTube, and you can go and look at any of those prints and use my link. I appreciate that. That does give me a little extra to buy supplies. And let's see, I think I'll put it up. I think I'm going to put it right here in the middle of these. Just a little something right there. Just a little something. I love that. So there we go on that. All right. And then I made a little tag for it. I love little tags, and I can put it on this side. It won't cover up as much as putting it on top of our music. So this is little tags that I bought. You can make your own at Amazon bags. Something else that's really cool. Let's see if I see it. I'm not sure if I have it in this drawer. Or I think I've got a piece right up here, y'all. Let me see. Let me turn this iron off so that we don't forget that. Let's put it back over there. This right here is a paper towel. You take the coffee podge, coffee grunge, and you just put it on it, let it dry overnight, and you have this wonderful pieces that you can use for tags and all kinds of things. Easy peasy. The coffee grunge is 1 cup of lukewarm or hot water, a 1/2 cup of instant coffee. It does have to be instant. 2 tablespoons of vanilla and 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. If you don't like cinnamon, substitute something else or leave it out. You can leave it out. You can just make the vanilla. Use imitation vanilla. There's no sense in buying expensive, regular vanilla. It's going to smell the same. And that is the best scent, even if you don't drink coffee. It is a great scent. And you can make that up. And that is on my page too, featured, if you didn't get all of that. Okay, we're going to put our little tag here. Then I took these are little cupcake things. You can get these at Hobby Lobby, or you can order them. They don't make the little flags like this. My flags, this is a 4x6. That's the smallest I can get. So I just decided I'd get some of those to put on here. And then I used some little, let's see, where did I put those? Right here. You can buy these. I got these at Michael's, and I just spelt out USA. It's on this side. You can snap these together. So you can make a whole wording. You can make a whole sentence. They've even got blanks you can put in between. And these are so cute. You can buy them in small or big. Get at least 2 sets, because if you have something that's got double vowels in it, or you've got anything double that you got to use, you can do 2, and that way you have it all together in one. And they snap together, so they do print really well. And then I just used my ink. I did try the oxide yesterday on the other one. It didn't show up as well, so I just used ink on this one. And this is just a little simple, just something you can add to your piece. And I probably will shorten that string. And I like to just put mine right, hang it right here in the corner. You also can put it on a bow. So if you like bows, you can do bows as well. I'm going to use this little tool here. This is one that Josie sent me. Let me let that heat up just a minute. It's a little small one. I like it because it just barely puts a little bit of glue. So let me see if I see any questions. And I think that's all I'm going to do to it, except, y'all, I thought about putting a little bit of some brown wax on the side just to wax it up a little bit. I think I will use just a little bit of the brown wax, just a tad on the edges. And I've got a brush for my wax as well. You can get these from Paint Pixie. This is the bigger one. Let's see if there's any in here. Sometimes there's a little bit in here. Okay, let's get a little bit. This is the Bee's Knees wax. If you haven't used the wax is good too. Now, Josie will still carry the paints, the wax, the jewels, and she may introduce some other things. She's kind of trying out the jewels right now, and I really liked them. I got several more coming tomorrow, so I've got some more jewels to show you. And I'm just tapping the edge of this, y'all. I'm not going to worry about putting it on my print. I'm just tapping the edge of my board. And you don't even have to do it completely. You can just tap edges of it. Just here, then you can go up to here. You don't have to do the whole thing totally up to how you like it. That's just going to add a little bit of antiquing to it. You also can use your finger and spread it out. So if it gets where you don't like the way it looks, just take your finger, spread it out a little bit. We're going to put just a little bit up here on this piece and a little bit on our star, just to give it a more rustic look. That's just going to add to that just a little bit. I'm just using the edge of my brush just to give that a little bit. You can also put some on your tag if you want to. So it's just a touch. It's not really a lot at all. Put a little bit up in here. You can also put it on the edges of your board if you want to. Just like that. Let's see if this got hot. Yes, it's ready. It doesn't take this but a couple of minutes. This is nice. It's called Designed by Hoto, H-O-T-O. I believe you can get them at Amazon. It gives just a little bit of glue instead of having a big glop. You've got just, it makes a cute little noise sometimes too. I like it. So I'm just going to put that right there. And then I'm going to trim that off just a little bit. You can just make it go to the back. You can trim it off either one. I'm just going to trim that there. And then I'm just going to put a tad right up here. There was still glue in there. And that's going to kind of hold that down just a little bit. There we go. It takes the little bitty sticks. But it does get really hot. Y'all hold on. I got a glue gob going on here. A lot of this glue that you buy is stringy now, no matter what brand it is or what kind it is. The stencil was called Harmony. And you can get that also from Paint Pixie. And if they're not on sale, you can get that for my 15% off. Anything regular priced. And it is Amazing Grace in French. Yes. All right. So I hope that y'all like that. I'm going to put a little piece of jute on the back to hang it. And I will make a copy, take a photo, and I'll put that on my page. And I'll also put it on YouTube in my thumbnail. So I hope that y'all enjoyed that today and you got some good tips. I hope you did. Thank you. If I didn't say hello to you, I might have missed you, but I am so glad you were here with me. Thank you for joining me. I hope that y'all have a wonderful and blessed day, and I will see you again on Paint Pixie's page in a few weeks, but I will be on this week on Facebook and probably on YouTube just check out my schedule. I have a couple of days I wasn't sure, so tomorrow I'll probably do a video or a live on YouTube. So y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I thank you so much for being with me. And again, my link will be in the comments on Facebook and on YouTube. I will put that in the description. So y'all have a good one. Thank you. Thanks so much. I appreciate you.